and welcome to Library Connection. I'm your hostess, Mandy Cantrell. I'm talking today with Captain Kelley Johnson. He is our interim police chief. I know most of you may have heard that Chief Chris Carden of the Sylacauga Police Department has taken a job at the Attorney General's office in Montgomery, and we are very sorry to see him go, but we are very happy to have you, Captain Kelley Johnson. I think I can just call you Chief. It'll be pretty soon.
You can.
That'd be great. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Good, good. Well, before we get to talking about the police department and the things going on, tell us about yourself.
Okay.
Where you're from and your family.
My name is Kelley Johnson. I'm a native of Coosa County. I live in Rockford. I was born and raised there. My wife is Misty Cothran Johnson. She's from here in Sylacauga. Okay. And I have two kids, Taylor and Caitlin. Taylor is with us still in Rockford, and Caitlin lives here in Sylacauga.
Well, good, good.
I started my law enforcement career with the Sheriff's Office in Coosa County.
Oh, okay.
I graduated from AUM in 1994 and started with Sheriff Evans in August of '94.
Okay. How long have you been with the Sylacauga Police Department?
I've been here with Sylacauga since April of 2003. Started as a patrolman on the night shift. In my career, most of my career has been on the night shift. I have had some stints on days, but up until I made captain with Sylacauga, it was mostly at night.
Oh, bless you. That would be difficult. I guess you just get used to it, doesn't it?
You get used to it. You get used to sleeping in the daytime. Takes a little out of you, but you keep going. Well,
and we're glad to have you. We were glad to have you patrolling at night. Glad to have people at night working. Yours is a 24-hour job, 24-hour a day job.
That's right.
That is. It's great. Well, you will take over when Chris Carden goes to his new job in Montgomery. You will take over as police chief, interim police chief. And I know I was reading about that Chief Carden recommended you for the position, so he has great confidence in you, and it's always good to hear. So, and we are very excited about you taking that position.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've worked with him for a while?
I've worked closely with Chief Carden since I had a stint in training as a training supervisor, training sergeant. That was one of my first day shift positions, was as a training sergeant. Mm-hmm. He was the captain. We became friends and got close. He kind of took me under his wing, and as I've progressed, he's progressed, and he selected me as his number 2 in 2013 when he made chief.
Right.
Put me in as captain.
Seems like I remember that. Yeah, that's great.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, so you know the job. I mean, because you've worked with him for a while. That's great.
I know parts of it. Right. I'm learning a lot this week and last week. There's a lot to learn going from my position to his position. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of administrative stuff that I'm trying to pick up so that I know what to do. Not real worried about it because he's still going to be there to answer some phone calls and help me out with whatever I need. He's assured me that he'll be there to help me.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will be. So the transition takes a while. And you said you're working on it a little bit now, learning?
Yes, ma'am. We've kind of been in this transition stage for since he made his announcement. He actually announced to me. I was one of the first people. So
right.
I started getting a little bit more in depth in what he did. It's probably been, this is the second week, I guess.
Okay, great.
So, and I will try to absorb the knowledge that I need to know there of his job from him up until Friday.
Right, okay.
When he leaves.
That's great. Well, I know you'll do a great job, and we're very excited and feel good with you in that position. That's great.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I read in the newspaper you said you kind of plan to continue the things that Chief Carden has done, and I think as anybody that takes a position like this, you're going to do kind of what he started, but put your own twist on it, kind of things like that. So.
Why fix something that's not broken?
That's right.
He's got things going really well with the department and the community. Wow. We have good backing from the community. We want to continue our community policing. continue our relationship, the good relationship with the community,
Right.
and keep things going in-house, as they're going now.
That's right. That's good. I know we were talking about community activities. Y'all still do Coffee with a Cop?
We do. We had one. Our last one was, I think it was in May at Burger King, and we'll have more in the future.
And do tell, some of our viewers might not know what that is exactly, Coffee with a Cop.
Coffee with a Cop is a community program to where members of the community can come and sit down in a setting that's comfortable for them and for us. They get to meet us, they get to see us, they can ask us questions, and they get free coffee when they do it.
Oh, well, that's good. That is nice. Nobody wants to come to the police station to talk. I think that's probably not a real comfortable place for a lot of people. I don't know why, but it just seems like I would be more at ease probably at Burger King or somewhere like that, like you said.
We have a good showing when we do those, and
that's great.
We try to do them every quarter.
That's good. That's good. I know, speaking for me, and this is a small thing, I do story time at the library for preschool, and I know Mike Gorman from the police department has come to story time a few times when I've asked him just to tell the children what a policeman does, let them see him. I know I want children to know policemen are their friends. You don't arrest children for being bad. No. And that policemen are your friends, and how, if they're lost, if they need some help, that a policeman can help you. So it means a lot to me that y'all take time out of your day to come over just to talk to the children, let them see you, see the uniform. And all
that. We try to stay in touch with the community. That's all part of our community policing. And the kids get comfortable with us at an early age, then hopefully they respect us, and we show them that interaction with an officer is not always bad.
Right, that's great. I like that. I know y'all are in the schools also. You read and
we go to the schools and do those things. We do kid print where we fingerprint kindergartnens.
Right.
We do that in the city schools, and we go and we assist in some of the county schools as well.
Okay.
We send officers to help.
And that is, you take a fingerprint of each child.
We take fingerprints, we take photographs, and then we supply the families of the kids with copies of those.
That's great. In case
of
their children.
A missing child, an abduction, whatever it may be.
Right. And I don't think about that too much. You always think it won't happen to you. It won't happen. It won't happen to my child, but it could happen to anybody. But that's good to have that on file, because at a time like that, having to find those would be difficult. But it's good to already have them in a certain place. Now, I know you do jail and bail. We just were talking about some of the community things. Jail and bail.
We participate with Muscular Dystrophy Association, jail and bail. We assist them in picking up their prisoners, I guess you'd call them, for the day.
Yeah.
We go and pick them up, and we take them home sometimes.
Right.
And I actually was part of the prison group that generated some money for MDA this last time.
Oh, great.
I participated with them.
Yeah, that's great. And it is good to see policemen out in community activities. I know it's good for the community, good for y'all, everything. We talked a little bit about the school, and I meant to mention the school resource officers. Kind of explain what that is with the school system.
Well, school resource officer is a police officer that's assigned to the schools to assist in anything law enforcement related that would happen at the school, or if it doesn't happen at the school, that may affect the school operation. We have two school resource officers, Harry Brown and Doug Kemp. Harry Brown is the senior school resource officer, and his coverage is for the high school and for Nichols Lawson Middle School. Officer Kemp is assigned to Indian Valley and Pinecrest Elementary School.
Okay.
And they're there as a presence, and then if they're needed to act as a law enforcement officer at the school campus.
That's great. We're glad they're there. Hope they never have to do anything except be a presence there. But it's a great comfort to parents, who have their children there, and it's wonderful for kids to see them there actively involved in the school. And these are great guys. I know Doug Kemp?
Doug Kemp.
Yes, I know him.
Yes, ma'am.
He's a lot of fun. I know the children enjoy that, too, getting to see him.
They're both good officers.
They are. Well, if someone wanted to become a police officer, I know you don't just, how do you go about that? I know y'all are actually recruiting.
We're actually recruiting now. We have 2 vacancies, officers that left us and went to Hoover Police Department. Of course, Chief Carden is leaving us, so there's another spot that'll be open.
Right.
We are kind of guessing by the first of the year that we'll have hired maybe 6 officers.
Okay.
Over a little turnover, retirements. Our Lieutenant Mike Gorman is retiring. His last day is August the 30th, and we'll be having a little retirement party upstairs for him, for employees and for the public, to come out and wish him well. He's been with the police department for 33 years, I think.
Wow, that's great.
But to become a police officer, you have to, you really need to have the drive. Takes a special person, I say, to do the job.
I think so.
But there's some minimum requirements that you have to do. Minimum of 21 years of age. Okay. You need to have a high school diploma, a GED, or the equivalent. Mm-hmm. An officer has to be, we call it A-Post certified, which is Alabama Peace Officers Standards Training Commission, which actually certifies all law enforcement in the state. Okay. So you either have to have that certification already, or you have to be able to obtain it within 6 months. You have to have a valid driver's license, of course, to operate a vehicle. You have to be able to complete a physical ability or a physical agility testing. You have to run 1.5 miles. Okay. You have to do push-ups, sit-ups. You have to push a police car. You have to do several things to show that you have the ability to take on physical activity. It's
a physical job, I'm sure.
It is, at times, very physical. It is.
Okay.
There's a thorough background check.
Okay.
There's drug screening and pre-employment background. Right. So, psychological testing. You have to go through a lot. It's a lengthy process.
Well, but if people really want to do it, that's great.
If you really want to do it, the police department, they'll be taking applications until July the 30th.
Okay.
So we would like to get a lot of applicants for our civil service test.
Good. Men and women.
Men and women.
Men and women.
That's right.
Right. Well, listen, we'll take a brief break for commercials, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more with Chief Kelley Johnson.
In Central Alabama, 9,100 kids face going to bed hungry tonight. Hunger doesn't take a day off. There are kids right here, right now, that don't know where they'll get their next meal. Join Alabama Childhood Food Solutions and help put an end to childhood hunger in Central Alabama. Make a difference. Donate today, by mail or online, to help ACFS feed hungry kids. There's no better time to share than now. Their next meal could come from you.
Any meal, anytime, it's a Huddle House on Highway 280. From the popular Huddle House signature waffle to our big house breakfast, including gravy and biscuit and loaded hash browns, it's a Huddle House. Try our Philly cheese steak omelet. It's a sure hit, too. Our big house sandwich combos include Huddle burger and country fried steak. And for lunch or dinner, it's the often requested chopped steak with mushroom gravy. Starting to get hungry? Head to the Huddle House. Our friendly and experienced team await you. Huddle House, Highway 280, any meal, anytime.
There's one pharmacy that's so much more than just a drugstore. That's Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga. From cards for all occasions, a huge selection of gifts, even great exclusive Alabama and Auburn stuff, all kinds of household needs, and a complete selection of over-the-counter meds and supplies that you would expect. We are more than just a drugstore, but with our friendly, courteous staff and all of our great extras, we ought to be your drugstore. We're Marble City Pharmacy in Ogletree Plaza.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Last year, the Alabama State Park celebrated our 75th anniversary, but the fun really never ends. I'm happy because this year, special events and new promotions will help us reach out to those who have yet to visit a state park. In addition to providing family fun, our parks are located in some of the most beautiful parts of Alabama. So plan your next visit today. But this year, reach out and bring a friend. For more information, call 1-800-ALAPARK or go to alapark.com.
Since 1935, the Collins family has been the automobile business in Sylacauga. Bobby and Anderson Collins carry on that tradition today at Stop and Shop Auto Sales. Select from late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. And our vehicles do not go on the lot until they are thoroughly inspected by our experienced mechanics. At Stop and Shop Auto Sales, we offer a 30-day warranty on all our inventory. Family owned and operated for 4 generations. Stop and Shop Auto Sales, 230 West 1st Street in Sylacauga.
Hi, and welcome back to Library Connection. I'm your hostess, Mandy Cantrell. I'm talking with Interim Police Chief Kelley Johnson. As most of you may know, our Police Chief Chris Carden has taken a job in Montgomery, and we are excited for him and his new position, new things for him, and we're very excited to have you as our Interim Police Chief. I know that as we're taping it, it will begin really Monday, I believe. Is that correct?
That's correct.
But it very soon here. So you're in the transition stages, and we were talking just before we went to a commercial break, talking about y'all are recruiting policemen right now and the things they needed to do. And you and I were talking before we started taping about all the training that goes on with the police force. What kind of things are coming up, or what do policemen have to go through?
Okay.
A lot of the training.
Our certification requires us to have a minimum of 12 hours of training each year, continuing education units. The city, our policy is that we have up to 40 hours of training. So we go above and beyond what the state requires us to do.
That's great.
We try to get as much training in the year as we can. So there's several things that we've got going on now. We've got an officer or an investigator that will be taking some domestic terrorism training.
Okay.
Things are going on in the communities today that we need to be prepared for. So
Sure.
Hopefully not here, but it may get us a little bit of preparation if something does go on. We have a lieutenant that's going to be going to it's kind of a mini FBI leadership training, 40-hour class in the north part of the state in September. And in-house, we have just a couple of more in-house classes.
Okay.
We have a mapping class that one of our sergeants is going to be teaching us, and we have a mandatory firearms training on in November.
Okay. And you said you're going for some training.
Yes, ma'am. I will be, as the chief of police, one thing that I'll do is go to the Alabama Association Chiefs of Police Conference next week, or week after next, starting August the 2nd.
Great.
And that's in Gulf Shores, to receive some of the executive training that police chiefs have to have through the year. And then in January, I'll be leaving and going to it's the FBI Academy. It's the National Academy for Local and State Law Enforcement Officers that they put on, and it's a 10-week course.
Great.
In Quantico, Virginia.
Well, that sounds exciting. I'm glad to hear. I guess I never really thought about it, that there is continuous training, some in-house and some travel or different agencies doing the training, so y'all stay on top of it all the time. I know. to learn all there is to learn, and there's so much more than there used to be, I think. Different things going on in communities, so it's good to stay on top of that. Maybe you won't have to use a lot of that, but it's good to know it and be prepared.
Yes, ma'am.
Like you said, that's great. Now, one of the things coming up is National Night Out.
Okay.
That is August the 4th. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
All right. National Night Out is designed to heighten crime and drug prevention. It's a community event that's going to bring the community and the police, law enforcement, fire, I guess you'd say public safety together.
Right, yes.
And it's a time that they're going to be together and prevent crime, I guess, by being with us.
I think of it as being like, I think it says a night away from crime.
A night away from crime, that's right.
Away from crime with other agencies, getting to know you,
Yes, ma'am.
and things like that.
There are several things that are going to go on that night. And it's going to be at Noble Park.
Noble Park.
National Night Out actually starts at 6 p.m. and goes to 8 p.m.
Okay.
We have some vendors and things that are going to be going on. Walmart has donated food.
Oh, good.
There'll be free food, grilled. Last year it was hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yes.
That's supplied by the King's Kitchen at the Sanctuary.
Oh, they are so good. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I always help.
There'll be the choice bus is supposed to be there. It's kind of an interactive bus that shows different things that the kids will can participate in.
Helping them make good choices.
Helping them make good choices, and I think one of the scenes is a prison cell,
Really?
maybe not winding up in one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard about the choice bus. Richard Bonds is over the Prevention Coalition, which also works with that, and I'm part of that group. And he speaks very highly of the choice bus, and it's something you have to call ahead of time and arrange for them to come, and they'll be here. And I heard really good things about it. It takes a few minutes to go through it, but it's very, it can be life-changing. It does.
It could.
You know, kids today have so many choices,
Yes, ma'am.
and we're all trying to encourage them to make the right choices, which is part of this, the whole night, National Night Out, is making good choices.
Other things will be Home Depot setting up a demonstration. Face painting for the kids. The fire department will be there with their trucks.
Oh, fun.
And Merkel's Wrecker is going to set a actual crashed vehicle out for them to see. You know, maybe a drinking and driving.
Right. See, there's nothing like seeing one of those crashed cars to make you think, oh, I don't need to be drinking and driving because this could happen. This could happen. I think, are there some songwriters there? So there'll be some entertainment.
There'll be some entertainment. Nashville Songwriters Association going to have people performing there.
Right. They're wonderful too. I enjoy
It'll
hearing them.
Be a night of fun.
Will be. And we'll hope it doesn't rain. We'll be looking at that. Hope not.
That's right.
Now there are some things going on before that. Is there an anti-bullying?
Yes, ma'am. The National Night Out program is in conjunction with Sylacauga SAFE.
Yes.
And SAFE is having an anti-bullying program actually in the park at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
This is also in conjunction with their school supply drive. So what they're going to do is they'll have the anti-bullying program at 4. They'll leave the park and go over to J. Craig Community Center, and they'll issue out the school supplies. And Ms. Morton has promised that there will be enough school supplies for everyone to get some that is needing it.
Right.
They are taking donations now. They'll be taking the donations up until August 4. August 4.
Great. They're taking them at Walmart, is that right? Are they set
Taking
up there?
them at Walmart. I think they'll take them at SAFE. There's,
And these are general. I'm thinking papers, pencils, binders, notebooks, crayons. Backpacks, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Things like that. There's so many kids. There's so many things they have to take to school today that they need just to get through the school year, and so it's nice that we can provide that, or that SAFE can as a community.
And actually, the Sylacauga Chamber of Commerce has funds available for school uniforms. They actually help with school uniforms as well.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I've forgotten. Some schools do have uniforms, certain things that children have to buy to have. So that is August the 4th. I'm just going to kind of review that. 4 o'clock is the anti-bullying program at the park, Noble Park.
That's right.
Right after that, the school supply drive at J. Craig Smith. And
Yes,
if you'd
ma'am.
like to donate, please donate any school supplies to SAFE or Walmart. Anybody that can get it to them. That'd be
Yes, ma'am.
anything they need. I'm sure it's on their website, and I know I've seen the signs around town. And then right after that, or at 6, it'll be National Night Out at the park with food and entertainment and lots of things to see and do.
Yes, ma'am.
People to meet. That's great. That's always a fun night out. Towards the evening, it'll be a little bit cooler maybe, so that'll be great. Anything else about that? That's all. Any other events or things coming up? Have we covered everything?
I think we've covered the retirement parties.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, good.
That's all the
good.
events.
Well, this is just kind of a general question as police chief. I know. What are some things as citizens that we can do to keep ourselves safe? And I know some of these are just common sense things, but what are some good things that we can do in general to keep ourselves safe?
Yeah, safety is mostly common sense. You want to be observant. You want to know what's around you, your surroundings. If you're at home or if you're leaving home, you want to lock your doors. You want to make sure your windows lock and unlock, that they move freely. Because if you're inside with a locked window and there's a fire, you want to make sure that you can get out of the house if your doors are blocked. Right. You want to keep your car doors locked. We have a lot of, we have car burglaries in town, and a lot of those car burglaries are just by chance because somebody came by and they checked the door handle. Oh. The door's unlocked. They go into the car and they take what's in there that's of value. Keep your car doors locked. If you're not in the car.
A lot of that are, like you said, it's just common sense things, locking your door, being aware of your surroundings, I think.
That's right.
Things like that going on. Well, good. I'm glad we can all kind of take care of that if we just stop and think about it. That's good. Now, if we need to get in touch with a policeman, I know there's 911. I know that.
That's right.
And that's the best thing to call, the best number to call if there's ever an emergency.
In an emergency.
Right. Only in an emergency.
Only in an emergency.
Right. At other times, if I see something going on that I think, and I need to let somebody know, 911 or call the police department.
Well, if
Depends,
it's something that is an emergency at that time,
right.
You can call 911.
Okay.
If 911 is called, our officers are going to respond.
Okay.
Even if it's not meant to call 911. We have 911 calls where people were trying to call their dentist or their doctor.
Oh, no.
And it takes our officer off of a call that he may have to go to or need to go to answer one that's not.
Okay.
But we have to answer. We're going to answer a 911 call.
Okay. Right.
But if you have a non-emergency, just want to report something, then the number is 256-245-4334.
Okay.
And that'll get our central dispatch. They'll relay the information to our officers.
Okay. Like if I think I've seen a crime or something, I want a tip or something, so to speak, if I want to report that. And I know y'all do encourage that for us to
Yes, ma'am.
To be involved.
And for people that call this stuff in that actually see stuff, we need details. We'd like to have as much detail as we can,
Right.
Pay attention to things and relay that to us. It helps us out a lot.
It does. Well, we want, as part of a community, we want to keep our entire community safe. So you have to be active, to me, and be involved in it and be observant as to what's going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, so I know you're starting out as not new to the police department, but new as police chief. Are there any changes coming up, or just wait and see
Well, yeah.
how it goes?
Chief Carden, when he took over, he made a lot of changes.
Right.
He changed our uniforms that I'm wearing today.
Yes.
From the norm that we used to wear was a blue polyester.
Right.
And, we actually had our badge that attached to the shirt. We went to this uniform. It's a little more comfortable.
Good.
A little easier on the officers. It has an external vest carrier rather than wearing one under. If you get hot, you could take it off. And,
Well, good.
he changed the uniforms. He changed the badge. He did a lot of changes, so we'll have to see.
Have to see. Well, thank you. And we just have a lot of confidence in what you're going to be doing, and I know he did, and we will too, and we just appreciate what you're doing for our community. And thank you for being with me today
Thank you.
on Library Connection.